Segment number 3, Teddy, watch what you bet here. And again, it's always nice in the opening round because we get a nice little staggered game totals. 3 games last night, 3 games tonight. Let's hit these triple headers, Teddy. Celtics look to take a 2-0 series lead in the NBA Eastern Conference. Pacers versus Celtics, -7. Total, 205.5 money line split, plus 274, -340. Live 7 p.m., Teddy, tonight from the TD Garden in Boston. Pacers 40-42 against the number on the season, 16-20 against the number as a dog, and 11-17 as a road dog this year. Celtics only 39-42 overall against the number, 31-33 as a favorite, and 21-18. Should be a decent one here in Beantown tonight, Teddy. Game 1 of our 3-game stretch here.
Sure, and we saw a significant market move this morning. This game was 7.5 everywhere, and boom. The wise guy said, and they took out basically all the 7.5s offshore, and they're starting to go away here in Vegas as well. But the plus 7.5 was a clear wise guy play in early action on Wednesday. Not like the wise guys necessarily having a great playoffs, but it's something that they, that hook was something they appeared to be very interested in. Of course, when you talk about game 1, tight first half, didn't look like the Celtics had solved it. And then all of a sudden in the third quarter, Boston came out and played some pretty sick defense. And/or Indiana played some pretty sick offense. Pacers scored 29 points after halftime. That's 2 quarters of basketball. That's 24 minutes. They scored 29 points, 8 in the third quarter. Some of the quotes. Where's the one? Where is it? Sorry. I don't know who said it. We've got to shake this off and realize there was a lot of good in there. I don't think if we played with our eyes closed, we could have an 8-point quarter. Again, 70 points, 74 points, 15 points lower than any previous game this season for the Pacers. That being said, they've been held under 103 of their last 4, and that included a 20-point home loss to Boston in the final week of the regular season. No Marcus Smart, no problem for the Celtics. They won despite having their lowest point total in any victory this season. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see another defensive scrum. Total 206.5. I don't know the pace is going to be there. I'm not convinced the offensive production is going to be there. This one sure feels like a grinder, just like game 1 did.
Yeah, in game 1, Ted, I remember tweeting out, I couldn't even believe it. You saw the 8 points in the third quarter, and then midway through the fourth quarter, they only had 4 points on the board in the fourth quarter, so 12 total points with, just about 6-7 minutes left on the clock in the game. Certainly left a lot to be desired. But how about this game, Teddy? Detonation in round 1, game 1 between the Pistons and the Bucks, and officially listed right now, Blake Griffin is listed as questionable for the game with a knee injury, but the Bucks, huge favorite again, -15, total of 213, money line split plus 850, -17.99, 8 p.m. tonight on NBA TV, live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Pistons, Teddy, 42-40 against the number on the season, 14-18 as a road dog. The Bucks hammering people and building bankrolls left and right at 48-32 on the season, 41-29 against the number as a favorite, and 23-16 against the spread as a home favorite. Getting the job done. Can they get that 15-point winning cover tonight?
Well, when you look at the postseason, it looked like there was 15 playoff teams and one team that was just going to be happy to be there. Whoever's going to get that last spot in the East, and that happened to be Detroit. In a banged-up squad. Griffin was hurt down the stretch. I'm seeing disparate information about Griffin right now. On the one hand, he's officially listed as out. On the other hand, he practiced. He was on the floor, and the quotes, coming out of Detroit are, there's a chance, Dwayne Casey talking yesterday. Monday, I should say. He worked out today. He's lobbying. He wants to play. It's the medical staff and the doctors, the ones making those decisions, not me, not Blake. So you would expect a significant market move if Blake Griffin plays. The 15 is not going to be there. It'll go down to, 14, 13.5. Who knows how low it'll go, especially with the Pistons coming off that embarrassing loss. But the Pistons aren't any good, and the Bucks are. And it's pretty clear, Milwaukee didn't win 60 games by accident. Their starters, and none of them played 30 minutes the other night. None of them played more than 26 minutes in that blowout win. The Pistons defense, Dwayne Casey, we're all over the map defensively. We didn't get anything done. We have another level that we have to get to with our intensity and physicality because they're coming through with balance. The only thing that the Bucks need to worry about is complacency. And if the Bucks come out flat, Pistons can hang. If the Bucks bring their A game, Pistons have no chance. They are not going to be competitive with the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So this is the type of game that maybe you pay attention early on, see how Milwaukee's looking. If they come to play, if Giannis has that look in his eye tonight, the Pistons are going to be in a lot of trouble once again, just like they were in Game 1.
Non-competitive, Teddy. That's the word of the day for the Jazz in Game 1 versus the Houston Rockets. So they were run over. The Jazz and the Rockets going to line it up for Game 2. Rockets favored by 6.5. Total of 214 moneyline split plus 230 minus 270. Jazz are 44-37 against the number in all games this year. 10-7 though as a dog this year, and 8-7 against the spread as a road dog. Rockets 41-39 against the number in the season. 31-30 against the spread as a favorite, and 21-14 though against the spread as a home favorite. Game 2 tips off tonight.
Well, Utah came into the game saying we're not going to let James Harden beat us. And Harden had 29 points, 10 assists, but Harden wasn't Harden that beat them. The entire starting lineup all got in double figures. Clint Capella, who was under the weather in that game, ate up the low post. It was the supporting cast for the Rockets that was the difference in that ball game, and it was a pretty ugly difference. Houston has had a very easy time with Utah in most recent meetings. They did in the postseason last year. The Jazz have a difficult time matching up against that team. Mike D'Antoni talking about Utah's defensive strategy on Harden. We're not going to let this guy beat us. We're going to make sure that he only drives left, all of that stuff. Quote, they throw something at him, and they might get him a little bit, and he figures it out, and then they don't get him anymore. He's so good offensively, it makes me laugh. He's so good, I don't know what you do. You're not stopping him. I don't care what you do. Harden talking about Utah's defense. I've seen literally every defense you can possibly see. So it's just a matter of adjusting and continuing to communicate with the guys of what spots they needed to be in. Now, Donovan Mitchell for Utah, no assists, 5 turnovers. He had 19 points. That's not what the Jazz need from him. It's, quote, no assists, 5 turnovers. That's huge. You can't have no assists and 5 turnovers. All that being said, even if Mitchell plays better, even if the Rockets don't have that balance, even if James Harden gets slowed down, I'm still not convinced that Utah is good enough to win this game. And they're not good enough to win this game. I'm not taking them +7. Rockets are the class here, and I expect them to show it.